So it has been a while. Yeah, my last video, or that last video, was the first 2 weeks of school, and we are now in the last 2 weeks of summer school. I know exactly what happened. We went on our vacation and it was just so hard to snap back in once we got back that I just didn't really, and now we're in the last 2 weeks. So I am going to lock back in as best as I can because it is finals time. So I for sure have a final exam for medical terminology. I don't know if I ever out loud said the classes that I'm taking, but I do have a final exam for sure for medical terminology. And then I have a 4th exam for basic anatomy, but it is unclear whether or not that is cumulative or if it's just going to be on the last 4 chapters. So yeah, so what I have to do now is a mini review of the entire book of medical terminology, and it's basically just a series of questions in the book itself, and I'm just circling, and this one doesn't have the answers in the back like the other self-tests do, so it really is just if you know, you know. And then the final is due July 30th, which is next week, and obviously I can take it anytime I want. But I know, like I said, I fell off hard. So I do want to go back and just write notes for a lot of the chapters that I didn't get a chance to write notes for, just to have them and kind of revisit them in a calmer and more collected way. Maybe I should have recorded myself over the past few weeks. Anyway, I was going crazy, but I feel a lot calmer now. And yeah, so just gonna get through these last 2 weeks of school, finish these classes with hopefully keeping my A and B, because I'm fine, happy with those. I used to strive for perfection when really what I need to do is strive for my best self. And with the way that I've been this summer and the way that life has just been going, this is my best self right now, and I acknowledge that and I accept that. And so yeah, just gonna keep strong with my A and B in these classes this summer. And then I get about a 2-week break, and then it's back for fall. And I'm only taking 1 class in fall. And then in the spring, I'm only taking 1 class, and hopefully I will know in the fall that I've been accepted to start the program, I guess in the spring, which would mean that I'm taking more classes, or in the summer, which would mean that I'm probably going to be taking 2 more classes next summer again. I wouldn't really want to, but if I were only able to get a fall start acceptance to the program, that'll be okay too. But that makes me so sad, only because I'm an impatient person and this is a 2-year program, so I wouldn't be done until 2028, and I would be 30, which is just really scary to me for some reason. Anyway, no existential dread. We are staying positive in this last 2 weeks of summer school video. So let's get to work. Okay, so the first 7 chapters, I did these yesterday actually, and they were pretty easy to get through, to be honest. And then, so yeah, the last 7, you can see that some of the questions have stars next to them because I do need to go back to the chapter and reread some stuff. But besides that, how do you think I did? So at the end of every chapter, there's a section called Rapid Review. So I'm going back to those and taking notes. Well, so the last chapter I have notes for is the respiratory system. So I'm just going to look at what they pull out here and then check against my notes and see if there's anything that I want to add or like, you know, that I don't have. And then for all of the rest of the chapters, I'm just gonna go through and pull out like possibly everything, but definitely what I think is the most important. So something that I strongly dislike about this book is that it will introduce a term and then it doesn't explain it. It just pretends that you know it. Like, okay, so a tracheostomy is performed after a laryngectomy or when prolonged mechanical ventilation is needed. So I can infer that with a laryngectomy, like, after that happens, you need prolonged mechanical ventilation. But it's like, what is a laryngectomy? You know, because like you have tracheotomy, incision into the trachea, tracheostomy, surgical creation of an opening, but it doesn't actually explain what a laryngectomy is. Not on this page either. So now I'm gonna go to the frickin' glossary. I know it's spelled. Okay. Laryngectomy, excision of the larynx, 240F and 240B. I wonder what page I was just on. Wow. So I just recorded all of that and came to the conclusion that, yeah, they don't tell you that because you should know that laryngeal means larynx, and you should know at this point that the suffix ectomy means excision. So that's actually not something to be mad at. That's a skill issue. And that is my own personal L. So let's get back to it. just so over it all. I'm ready to be done. Hi, okay, so it is Wednesday, July 30th, and I've been so bad about vlogging these last 2 weeks of school. It's just, like, I can't believe that that same sort of headspace I get into around finals time that, like, happened when I was in undergrad, it's just still here. Like, I don't know, I'm 5 years older, I just thought things would be a little different, but nope, not really, or not as much as I would like them to be. So I still get that same just like panicky feeling and like, I need to like do stuff, or like also I don't want to do anything. And also I've been sick. I don't know if I still sound sick, but yeah, not been an easy week so far. And I do have a final that's due tonight, so I need to do that at some point today. And I just finished the male reproductive system. Definitely gonna have to censor a lot of that, but you know, it is what it is. And now the last unit for my anatomy class is the female reproductive system, and I really need to just shoot on through that and get that submitted so I can do the quiz. And then it's not really a final exam, I probably mentioned this already, it's just exam number 4, so that's cool for anatomy, I guess. And then I will be done with summer school, and that one I have that scheduled for Friday. And then medical terminology due tonight. I don't know, I guess I'll do it at dinner or during dinner time or something, I don't know. And so the work I just did, I was on my lunch break for my other job, so like I'm not doing schoolwork on the clock. So just in case, I don't know, superiors watching, not doing schoolwork on the clock. I was on my lunch break. And that's why I really love Classroom Screen. I used it when I was a teacher. And I just love being able to do the different backgrounds and having a giant timer. So yeah. I'm taking a few extra minutes of lunch, I guess, to film this and just talk at the camera a little bit, because I feel like it's been too long and these summer school vlogs have been all over the place. But yeah, I need to clock back in and make that money. This is me before taking my medical terminology final. This is me after the medical terminology final, and I've not seen my score yet. So let's view this together. Nice. And I'm sure the things that I got wrong were just, well, one, there are definitely some that I was like, sure. And also just some where I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. See, it's the kind of thing where it's like, these are questions that I was already like iffy about, and so like maybe if I had changed my answer, I could have gotten a higher score, but like, whatever. Okay. What is the... Oh, but that answer was B. So that answer was D. So that answer was A. No idea, I'd have to look that one up. Okay. I don't know why I get the demas and the nomas mixed up. If it's a noma, it's a tumor. Gosh. I'm so mad at this one. Oh my gosh. not true. You think with all the time I spent on that one too, I would have realized why the first 3 answers seemed so correct? Because they were. Oh my gosh. I love and I hate taking tests. Anyway, I am ending this class with an A minus. You can focus, it's good. A minus. And that's all right with me. So it is Thursday and I'm just working on finishing my last, what are these called? Learning plan. And then I have to do a quiz. And then tomorrow I have a test scheduled for 12:30 and then I'm done with basic anatomy. So yeah, just gonna get this finished. So I have made it to campus and I'm gonna go take my last test of the summer, and this is me before that test, I guess. All right, this is me after the test. I passed. I got a 73, which isn't wow, super amazing, but I passed the class with an 83, so kept my B minus, did not slip into the C's, so hooray for that. And I'm done with summer school. That's crazy. I'm so relieved. I'm happy that I passed both my classes, and yeah, wow.